fellow family members, friends, followers, and random people on the internet. I posted a video that went micro-viral. There's more than 1,000 people saw it. To be honest with you, that is not what I expected or even hoped. I actually sent that post originally to two people, a former pastor and mentor and a mentor who's a close family friend. Those are the only people I sent that video to at first, because I wanted their honest opinion on what that video was about and the content, and I fully planned upon deleting it if they didn't think that I should post it. One of those mentors said, "Hey, it sounds like you're speaking from your heart." And the other asked me if she could share it on her Facebook. I had no idea that I would get very many views, because if you look at my channel, I had 7 followers when I posted this video, and my most viral video was like 16 people in the last 2 years or something like that. So I did not think that this would be widely watched. So thank you for your comments, especially those of you who have been victimized and were brave enough to speak out in the comments. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your personal experiences. That means so much to me. And thank you to those of you who were trying to correct me in love for behavior you saw as sinful. I will take correction from anyone if what they're saying is true to what the Lord is saying. And I don't know that perfectly because I'm not God, but I am accountable first to my husband and then to my pastor and close friends. So if they verify anything that a random stranger says about me, I'm gonna take it to heart. The one thing, I think there was a major misconception that I think that I'm the judge. I don't. And furthermore, I think Mike did a lot of good over the decades of his ministry. Yes, we know that we all have sin and all fall short. There is a 23-year, 24-hour prayer room. There have been healings that are verifiable. I myself had a crooked spine that healed during an IHOP event. So I think that my video was more negative than it should have been, because the reality is I think that there's a lot of positive, a lot of good, and a lot of furthering of the glory and kingdom and worship of God that has happened through the ministry of IHOP KC. If you want to know the failings, I don't know them all. I haven't been close to IHOP KC for about 10 years, but I can say that there are good people who genuinely love the Lord and serve the Lord that are still serving at IHOP KC, and they are doing their best to clean house and change the way that things have been run, and so that they are under a greater accountability in the future. I truly believe that. I could be wrong, I'm not perfect, but I truly believe that things will probably change for the better at IHOP KC now that this huge, egregious sin has been verified through the Roy's report, which is the article where 19-year-old Jane Doe and her husband have shared some personal things. Some people will not believe her, and I understand that, and it's your right to not believe her. But I have a close personal friend that was a mentor to me about 13 years ago who verified the story of the victim, because Mike said very similar things to her. And that to me was enough confirmation, because I know she's not lying. I've known her for years. She didn't even talk publicly about what he said to her. She just blew it off as kind of weird, and only came forward when she heard that a victim came forward who had been said the exact same thing to and more. And that young person was vulnerable and taken advantage of by Mike for years. I understand that Mike was accountable to one person, and he did repent of his sins at the time and felt like it should be under the cross. But my first video was trying to say, hey, if you are a leader or a pastor of any kind, then you need to be submitted more thoroughly to more rigorous accountability. That doesn't mean that they're going to know every single sin that you have, because only God knows. And only God knows what Mike's gone through, and only God knows what Diane and his family are going through right now. And his close friends and people who trusted him for decades. Like, only God knows what they're going through right now, and I'm really sorry if my video added to anyone's pain. The truth is, I can't even judge myself. God is the only righteous judge. Who may bring a charge against God's elect. It is only God who justifies. That's a Bible verse. So I'm imperfect. I'm just a person. I'm thankful if you were encouraged or challenged or appreciated any of the words that I said. I'm so thankful that this blessed someone out there. I really didn't intend for anybody I didn't know to see this yet, but it happened, and lesson learned. So this is kind of like an apology, but also an explanation for that post. And I just hope that God's will is furthered through the community of iHope KC. I pray that my life is submitted to Christ more thoroughly every day, that everything that I say and do and think would be more and more and more submitted to the will of God, and He will judge me in the end. And I know that. And so I have a fear of God, I think, that is growing in a healthy way. I am second in my life. I'm not a leader right now in any way, except that I have 5 kids and a husband. I'm not in ministry in any sense right now, aside from volunteer greeter at my church. But I know that if I ever were to be in leadership again, I would want to have more accountability for myself and for all those around me, that there would be a level of trustworthiness that can only be born out of true submission. So yeah, there you go. God bless, and Happy New Year.